Hello, hello, hello. Karen Creighton here. And today I'm joined by the lovely Sara She. And so I don't know if I've said that right, but basically, it,
Close enough.
so Sara is going to share with us her journey with Fast Track to Health and carnivore and anything else we decide to. So we're basically having a chat. So it's like two having coffee with friends, really, or
And it's
tea.
easy to
Or
forget
whatever.
you're actually recording. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's the object of the exercise. So, Sarah, now, what I would like to ask you first is what drew you to doing Fast Track to Health first up?
First up, Trev and I were driving in the van to Wellington one day, and we were listening to your interview with Natalie on RCR.
Oh,
And
Natalie Cutler-Walsh, yeah.
yes, and we were both just having these like, oh my God. And every time we went through a little black hole and couldn't hear you, we were like, ah. It was just really quite funny. We were both so captivated. And then you said, not all superfoods are everyone's superfoods. And something just went, I'm free, because so often Trevor and I would argue because he'd say, no, you just need to move more and eat less. And I went, no, I don't work like that. And so often I tried so many things, or even gone back and tried things that work for everyone else or had worked for me before and
Yeah,
wouldn't work again. Anyway, so that was the one main thing that you said. And then you talked about how every body is different, and
yeah,
and that inflammation is actually our friend, and to embrace that because that's your body telling you something's not quite right. And
yeah. Weight's your friend. Yes.
yeah,
The thing is that I think I was talking about how many of us who do put on weight, and it feels like so easily, like you can put it on overnight.
yeah,
We see it as a curse. But in
yeah,
actual fact, it's feeding back to us that something's not right.
yeah, exactly. And we
Mm.
were both just driving along going, wow. And like I said, often him and I would clash heads about, because he could do things much easier than me. And I'd sit and watch him eat the same thing I'm about to eat, and I gained the weight. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was the first time we both just went, yeah, this makes sense. Everything makes sense. And this was towards the end of the year in 2023. So it was around October.
Something like that. September, October. Mm.
Yeah. And I think we were actually on our way to his hospital appointment to have a follow up checkup. Anyway, um, then you were doing a 2 week challenge, and that was, I think, in November.
Yeah.
And so I jumped on that, and that's when I was doing the low inflammatory. So, really, um, at that point, if you'd asked me if I was going to do carnivore, I would have run the other way.
Yeah.
Actually, run, but I would have headed the other way at quite a speed. And it was on one of our Monday night chats on those 2 weeks that Trev overheard you talking, and you said, because somebody asked you about the difference between carnivore and the low inflammatory, and you said you can just live on steak and eggs if you like. Well, Trev died and went to heaven because that's all he ever wanted. Anyway, so I actually got a little bit upset at one point, and that's part of the story too. And
Yeah.
then the things that irritated me or upset me or overwhelmed me, and I know my lovely friend Camille mentioned this in her interview, the carnivore calm. It's a
Yeah.
it's a real thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead. So we started, and at the beginning, the weight dropped off really quite fast, and then on the 1st of January, I decided I'm going to do your fast track. So I did fast track to health. And I do remember thinking I was a bit bonkers spending all that money on products and things. And because I didn't really believe in putting lots of things in. But once I understood that your product's actually there to support what your body naturally does, but it's to support it rather than make it do something that's out of kilter. Yeah, so I embraced that and I was feeling great. And then still sitting at the dinner table looking at Trev eating his steak and eggs, and I had my kimchi, and I still like the occasional crunch, you know. But at the time, if you had suggested, and a lot of people suggested, try carnivore, and one lady in particular, lovely Julia, oh God, join the carnivore, and she'd rave about butter, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until you did the 30-day challenge, I think it was in March 2024. And so I was about halfway through the fast track program. I was around about the 38 weeks, 38 days, sorry,
Days.
days. And you did the 30-day carnivore challenge. And I thought, why not? Oh my God, I'm going mad. Our daughter thought we were mad. And it really didn't take long at all before I thought, hey, this just feels so right.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I've done more than answer you. Your question was, what started me? So I've answered that.
Yes.
That's what started me, and I'm going, blah, blah, blah. So,
No, it's great. It's really good.
but that's what started it. And it's one of the best things that's happened to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know you've dropped weight
Yes.
and you feel good,
Good
feel
boy.
better in your own skin.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? I can kneel. I can kneel on the floor now.
And
I
you
can.
couldn't do that before.
and,
Wow.
and I can get up on a sauce stool without having to hold on to someone or something. I can get up and off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which helped when we were doing renovations, I have to say. I think even my inner balance is better. I can do things. It's like my hand-eye coordination is better. I can
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
think clearer. And I'm far more in tune, not only with um, my higher self, but my inner self too.
Mm.
I know when something's not right. My instincts are a little bit more sharpened, and I can really see it. If I do eat something off track, which hey happens,
Being human.
yeah, I can really feel it. You know, so
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's quite interesting. But the other thing, and I actually had a quick look before we caught up. I my measurements. I haven't done it in just over a month, but so I did it middle of July, and I've lost released 21 centimeters around my waist.
Wow.
So that's, you know,
That's a goodly amount.
and I had a wee look. Um, Even my hips, 13 centimeters, even above my knees, 4 to 5 centimeters above my knees. Yeah, you know, so
Yeah.
they must have been like really
Inflamed.
pained. Um,
Mm.
so if I added up the whole lot, and it's over 72 centimeters in total, like all around, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just a shame I didn't do my neck right at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah. Because you do look totally different. And
Yeah.
so, and I think you're probably a bit like me where you didn't want to have your photo taken.
No,
And
no,
so this is why we encourage everyone when they get started to get a photo taken. You don't have to look at it.
no.
You
And
know,
you don't
just
need
get a
to
photo
see it.
taken,
Yeah.
front, back, sides, do your measurements.
Yeah, it's so important because there were
Yeah.
quite a few times where my scales didn't move, but my measurements did.
Yeah. Yeah. Because everything's relocating.
Yeah, and I think that I mean everyone's different. Some people have a really big change on the scales. I think mine has been more body shape, and I think internal healing. You know,
Yeah.
and I always thought my natural body shape was like that, but
Mm.
I've actually for the first time in my life I have a curve.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel, and things are more toned without doing
Yeah.
any exercise.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a really interesting transformation. But I think there was a lot of healing, and a lot of it was emotional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? There were times where I was in absolute tears, and I thought I was going mad.
Yeah.
And
And I know
your
that,
lovely calm was just
yeah.
ride with it.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the carnivore calm, isn't it? And so basically, I would
Yeah,
say if we look at Sara from when you started in 2023 and Sara
yeah,
2025, it's like you're a totally different personality
yeah.
because you don't
Totally.
react quickly, you don't get upset, you don't get stressed
Mm,
as much. And
no,
so this is my observation. Would you say that's right?
absolutely. Yeah. I still have my days. I still have
Yeah.
little hissy fits. But also, I think
Yeah.
something else that I think has happened is humor has come back. I find things far more funny than I used
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I can laugh at myself. I can laugh with myself. I'm just happier, and I'm noticing lots of little things. I think Camille actually said the same thing too. Just I'm feeling more grateful and calm in my environment. You know,
Mm.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing. It's
And noticing the beauty of life,
yeah.
I think that's for me, that's definitely it. And I don't get affected by all of the usual, chitter chatter.
Hmm.
It's like the chitter chatter is there, but it's sort of way, way, way away. So you
Yeah,
don't notice it.
yeah,
And so and things just it's like water off a duck's back if anyone says anything negative. Whereas before I would have got quite upset,
yeah, yeah.
and now it just doesn't affect me. Now that's part of the big I think that's one of the biggest things with it all really. And so what have you noticed with things like cravings and stuff since you've been like when you were on the low inflammatory? Did you have any cravings or anything when you were doing that?
I wasn't too bad because I ate most of my sort of favorite things like sauerkraut and kimchi.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and it was summer,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I did initially struggle with not being able to have certain fruit because I
Mm,
like certain fruit. I've never been a big fruit person, but the ones I like, I really like.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but that went away. And I mean, I love grapefruit, so I was actually quite happy eating grapefruit when they're in season. I sort of missed berries, blueberries, and things. Also, because I'd convinced myself I could heal my eyes with blueberries. Um, I think I probably struggled more when I was doing the low inflammatory than the carnivore.
mm, yeah,
And
yeah,
I think part of it is that you're allowed some but not the other. And sometimes I would then overthink it. Like, well,
yeah,
what that one? But I also think on carnivore, I am more sated.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And the simplicity of it is just beautiful. You don't have to add things all the time. In fact, I I remember at the start thinking, oh no, I have to get rid of this and I have to get rid of that. But it's actually my stock standard now is butter and steak mostly. Um, when I make uh, slow cook meals, I just had to look at it, remember what it's called. I do still sometimes throw in an onion.
oh,
You know,
you devil.
but I like onion, and I do think that there's medicinal. And if my body really feels like an onion, then I'll
Mm,
you know
yeah,
and garlic. I've got to grow my own. That's the next plan.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but I think I'm more sated. I don't really have cravings as such,
mm,
but
no,
every now and then it just gets in my head. I go, oh my god, I want a kebab, and then I realize most of it is actually just that I want something different. And if I just have a apple or a gherkin, it actually often gets rid of that. Sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes I have one, and that's fine.
yeah,
Um, I think, yeah, no, I don't really get cravings as such. And the other thing is, if I do fault and have sugar. I've been to birthdays and things and had some cake.
Mm.
I noticed that quite quickly on sugar, my
Yeah,
overwhelm comes back.
that makes sense. That
Mm.
makes sense when you look at the amount of people with anxiety and depression and stuff, and the amount of sugar and carbohydrates we're consuming.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense. And so when you take it the other way, when you're on the carnivore, it's
Mm.
calm.
Yeah.
Those foods excite everything. So you've got other foods that are neuroexciters that are natural foods, but they excite the central nervous system, and then you've got all the chemicals and things like monosodium glutamate and all of those things.
Yeah.
They're neuroexciters another level, and so consequently, it's not surprising that we feel so calm, is it really? You
Yeah.
know,
And,
and
and
how
it's how
enjoyable
it's
life is.
beautiful for us.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
have you noticed that there's more and more people going carnivore around you?
Yeah. It's,
Mm,
I mean, there are some people who I look at them and think, oh my God, you would so benefit from what we've
yeah,
experienced.
yeah, yeah,
But they have to realize it themselves.
yeah.
And there's no way I would have believed you if you'd said to me you'll be carnivore anytime soon.
Yeah. So it's gently, gently, and there is a rationale between going from normal Western diet
Mm.
to carnivore nice and gently, so it doesn't shock your system too much. So in actual fact, you vicariously have done my new fast track to health program,
Yeah,
haven't you? Yeah.
yeah, I did.
So,
And it wasn't a feeling, the being ready, it was a decision. It just,
that's it. I
yeah,
love that quote,
yeah.
and I'm so glad you shared it with me. It's really cool.
It's so
So
good.
the thing is that it's doing, and so I say to everyone, and I say it in my book, that you can choose if you want to go further down the rabbit hole. So you go low inflammatory. And if you choose to start doing carnivore, you can do it nice and gently. And when you get to the space where you feel, right, I'm happy, you stay there.
Yeah,
You don't have to go all the way. And it's like, I would say, I'm an almost carnivore
yeah,
because I do have herbs and spice. I mean, some people are very, very strict carnivore, which is great. And often there's a reason behind that. Strict carnivore, well, the lion diet is beef, water, and eggs.
yeah.
And then you've got other levels.
Mm.
And so I call myself an almost carnivore because I wouldn't call it dirty carnivore because dirty carnivore people eat lots of things which have chemicals and stuff like nitrates and things. I'm definitely not that. But I have when the apples are in season and they're nice, and because I can only eat organic ones, I'll have an apple.
Yeah,
And I also have lemons. So,
yes, yeah, yeah.
lemon juice and stuff. And so I'm an almost carnivore. And I also use herbs.
Mm.
Because herbalists, it's very hard to let go of those, and I
Yeah,
don't think I need to be honest. So, but everyone has different needs, don't they? Just like you have different needs. And it seems like intuitively you're erring more towards the lion diet
yeah,
than the other parts.
yeah,
And that is because you had a few bits and pieces to heal.
yeah.
And so don't you think intuitively you've just gone, right, I love beef
Mm.
and so I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is. People who know me well know that when a few years ago I couldn't even touch a steak. Like I'd have to get somebody else to take it out of the packet. Just like, this is that.
Yeah. And now you just do it.
And I think too, one of the things about the transition from Western to low inflammatory and then carnivore is you start to get calmer even on the low inflammatory. But at
Mm.
the beginning of the low inflammatory, I was all about, oh, but what about that? No, it's not on the list, Sarah. Oh, but what about that? No, Sarah, it's not on the list.
Yeah.
I was thinking so far ahead that I really wasn't in my own self.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was so worried about when can I reintroduce things. And so my
Yeah,
best advice really is just go with it and see how it feels. Don't put up all those blocks or what ifs or
yeah, yeah.
um
One day at a time, eh?
yeah. And even Camille, her and Steve thought we were bonkers and we couldn't. We were like fire hydrants. You've got to do this. And I know Camille, she likes to research, and when she did, it made me so happy. And seeing her now with the bounce in her step, and she giggles a lot,
Yeah.
and it's just beautiful. And we're going to live to 150 and do that together here at the beach.
And why not?
I
And there's no reason why we shouldn't live a lot longer than we've been told that we're going to live. And there's also that's a huge conversation.
know it is.
But basically, and this is, because you love to help people.
Yeah, yeah,
So Sara's a cranial sacral therapist, um, amongst her many skills, but she's also joining me with Fast Track to Health as a
yeah.
mentor. We haven't really worked out what the role is called as yet, but at the moment we'll call it a mentor or um, what was the other word we came up with? Can you remember?
You came up with guide.
Guide. Yeah. Fast
Yeah,
Track to Help guide.
guide,
Sounds
guide.
very spiritual, that when it is a spiritual thing.
Yeah, but
So
it's helping
yeah,
people. Hmm.
yeah. And that's so Sarah's in a Fast Track to Health group and she's blooming amazing with everyone. I mean, we're very blessed, aren't we, with our group? We only attract really amazing women
Yeah.
who support one another and so we have meetings, like Sarah said earlier, that we have meetings on Monday night at 7, and everyone first of all shares their wins and anything they're struggling with, and then we have an open conversation. It ends up all sorts of places, doesn't it?
It does. And it's just
And
so supportive. It's a lovely place to be.
yeah, it really is. And
Yeah.
so with the personal stuff, we never record it.
No.
So it's best to be in it. So yeah. So okay, so what would you say to someone, Sarah, who is looking at the program and going, oh, that's a bit too expensive for me, or oh, I don't know if I can do it? What would you say to them?
What would I
Putting you
say?
on the spot now. Yeah.
You are. I think it's easy to look at a dollar amount and go, oh, no, that's too much. And, it's a real thing. We're all struggling a bit with the cost of.
Mm,
But I do also think we've been conditioned to not spend money on ourselves.
yeah.
Yet people happily go and spend five, six, seven, even more dollars on a takeaway coffee.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and if you look at it in little parts, break it down, and just the benefit you're giving yourself something. You know,
Yeah.
if you see
Yeah.
a pair of boots for $395 that you can't live without, it's sure do it. Well, some people do. I really think just weigh it up and give it a go, even if you start small. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's so many aspects, and we could have just built the frequencies in as a part of it, but it's good to have the option.
Yeah. It's very important. And so,
Yeah.
there's the options are you can just buy my book, um, Carnivore to Carnivore, and we'll put this in the link underneath.
Mm.
And so Carnivore to Carnivore is a step-by-step guide from what we've been talking about. No products involved. So you
Mm.
just buy the book. You can buy other products and things. Then there's the Fast Track to Health Foundation, which includes the book, a physical diary, and the course. And that course also includes belonging to the Fast Track to Health group and getting the weekly calls,
Mm.
which I feel is hugely valuable to keep people on track. And if they get off track,
And and I'm going
we
to jump
go,
in there. I
yeah,
know when I first started it, and I'd actually forgotten about this. I started off on the cheaper one, which didn't include the group. It was
mm,
just I received the instructions.
yeah,
We built the book, and I felt a bit lonely
yeah, yeah,
because I'd also seen what the group felt like on that 2 week challenge.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
wasn't long before I went and I upgraded.
yeah,
Um, and I sort of think it's worth it. If you're really, really unhappy,
Yeah.
you'll know pretty quickly, and then
Yeah.
there's those options. But I think it's worth investing in your own health, and
It really is.
you either pay for it now or pay for it later. And I figure
Yeah.
it's a lot cheaper to do this wonderful course than to pay for all the things that illness brings, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And the inability to go and earn money if you're not well,
Yeah,
the inability to walk, run, be with grandchildren or children, to not be able to do your everyday things, to not sleep well because you're in pain, or you're
yeah.
frantically busy in your head, or depressed, or not able to communicate and that sort of
And,
thing. I think it's important.
and I think that's probably the other thing I'm going to say to somebody who isn't quite sure is sit with yourself for a minute and work out what is your why.
Mm,
Because once you know your why, then you can go from there. And my why was because both Trev and Mira came into my life quite late. I don't have the luxury of spend, what I thought I didn't, but I'm going to live to 150 now. I was 36 when I became a mum. I was 42 when I found my life partner. And I sort of thought, hey, I actually want to be around a long time to
yeah.
with those two people who came in late and some of my close friends, Camille. Um, I want to be around when Mira has children of her own.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a little old lady sitting in a corner in a rocking chair. Well, I'll probably still have a rocking chair, but I'm going to be having fun in it, you know.
Yeah.
So that
That's the
was
thing, isn't it?
yeah, and that was my why, and because I want to help people as well. And I actually think it's now, this hindsight beautiful thing. I think I had to go through the last 2.5 years and the healing that I've done so that I can better help people.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
I graduated a few years ago and it's never quite fully fallen into place to set up. And I was like, why? And got over frustrated and overthought things. But my carnivore mind has realized that I needed to heal first so that I can help other people heal.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's what it's about,
That's
you know?
100%. Yeah.
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 Oh,
Because physician heal thyself is the saying, isn't it?
it is. Yeah.
And, and I agree with you, because if I hadn't have been able, that was my thing, is when I put on the 25 kilos,
Mm.
the depression with that was, if I can't help myself, how can I help anyone else?
Yeah.
And so by dropping that weight, it lifted huge amount off of me,
Mm.
and included the fact that I can do this and you can do this too. And I believe, like
Yeah.
you, Sarah, is I had to go through my health challenges so I could help others.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I don't want people to have to go through the years and years and years that I did, you
Yeah.
know. So I'd rather, the sooner the better, really, is if you're not perimenopausal, or you're in your 40s or whatever. Actually, it doesn't matter what age. The youngest we've had on the program has been about 8,
Yeah.
and the oldest she's now 96, and she was 94 when she started. And
Mm.
so it's never too early and it's never too late to take control and empower yourself with your own health.
Yeah.
And your health is your wealth.
And that's what it's ultimately about.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
actually about health and healing and
yeah.
the body transformation and the inflammation leaving us is such
Mm,
a beautiful thing, but it's the byproduct.
yeah.
It's the symptom of getting healthier.
It is. And it's like we go back to the beginning of this chat, basically, where you shared that, I say that weight is actually a gift.
Hmm.
It's showing us something. So as we start dropping weight, that your body is starting to heal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not just the weight. So, if the weight stops going down, and I know you've experienced this, the weight stops going down, but there's other things going on,
Mm.
that actually is about the healing aspect.
That's
And then
right.
once that healing is shushed and done, then the body will go, oh, next level, take a little bit more weight off. And if it doesn't matter, we go through many, many layers of healing. It's like I remember earlier in my career, is the layers of an onion, and I keep thinking to myself, always thought to myself, well, when do I get to the blooming middle of this onion? Because it seems like there's layers and layers and layers, but we all have layers to
Mm.
work through, and we all have the potential to be even better than we are right now. Even if we feel amazing, we
Yeah.
can get better. And so the ethos that I work with is let's just work to and enjoy the process
Mm.
of improvement.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, final words, Sarah. Anything you'd like to say to anyone
Ah,
watching this?
I don't know. I wish I could get everyone to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No.
see so much inflammation and I see so much unhappiness out there, and I just wish everyone would do it, or at least give it a try, because I think
Mm.
we can, if we're all having a bit more calm and we're all feeling better about ourselves, just the flow on effect of that.
Oh,
I want
look at the
everyone
world.
to do this good. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
world would be a magical place, more magical place. And so, thank you, Sarah, for
Pleasure.
not only today, but for taking the leap of faith when
Mm.
you did.
Yeah.
And it's been magic watching your transformation. So thank you very much. And anyone watching this, thank you very much. And if you aren't already a watcher on our YouTube, please like and subscribe. It would be really nice to grow this a little bit or a little bit more. That'd be great.
Yeah. Everyone deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks very much.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
Yeah.